Welcome to What's Up, Bolts. Hold on, let me try and bring Dan and Daygo back to life. I think he had a couple of heart attacks during the game. Chargers survive, just like Dan and Daygo survived that game, 30-28. Wow, just wow. And I mean, there's no other way to put it. I mean, the Chargers really, by the hair of their chinny chin, were able to get out of Cleveland. I'm Fernando Ramirez. That is Dan and Daygo. Dan, how are you feeling?
About to be expected. I sent out a tweet in case no one saw it at Dan Daygo. I sent out a tweet of the Ben Affleck image when he's smoking on the sideline, on the side in front of a house or something.
Yeah.
I was like, just no words needed. No words needed. That's the only image. That's how I feel right now. Wins are hard to come by in the NFL and everywhere else. I get that, but this is just ugly.
It was a kind of a weird game. I think you weren't the only one that was going through it. I mean, obviously we're talking about that fourth down that the Chargers decide to go for, and Keenan Allen was doing a little bit of tweeting. He didn't make the trip. He stayed in Costa Mesa, and he goes, "What a WTF are we doing?" So I'm sure that was on the fourth down call. So obviously the Chargers had the ball at the end. By the way, this game was really won, and I understand some frustration with some people, but it was won by the defense. The defense at the end of the game,
100%.
the Chargers kick that field goal at the end of the game. It was after a 13 play, 66 yards. By the way, the Chargers' red zone offense should be a little concerning when Keenan Allen comes back. If that isn't fixed, this is going to be a cause for concern because they're not scoring touchdowns in times when they need to. But I digress. We're going to wait until Keenan comes back to see that. But the Chargers score a field goal with 9 minutes left. Then Jacoby Brissett gets the ball, 12 plays, 73 yards, eats up 6:45. And obviously at that time, it's 2:55 left on the clock. Brissett runs to the right. He could have taken off running, and he probably walks into the end zone. He sees in the back of the end zone, and Dan and I saw this. Amari Cooper comes open, and there's nobody right there. So he says, I'll throw it to Amari, touchdown, and then give it back to Justin Herbert and see what he can do. Alohi Gilman made himself smaller than he already is, and he jumped up and was able to get the pick. He runs it out to about the 20-yard line. Fast forward a couple of plays, the Chargers face 4th and 1. Fourth and 1.
Oh,
4th and 2. Okay, a long 1-2. Thank you, Dan. And on their own 46-yard line, Herbert runs up, tries to get them to come off sides. They say, okay, no, you think they're gonna punt it. Chargers call a timeout. Herbert comes back on the field and he throws a bullet to Mike Williams, and the rookie corner was draped all over him. He couldn't do anything. And they turn the ball over, and you're like, okay, is there a flag on the field? No. Are they really gonna get a chance to win this game? So right now we just showed you Keenan Allen's WTF are we doing. Let's go to Brandon Staley, and we're gonna have 2 videos from Brandon. One, he's kind of asked, and he talks about it a little bit. The second time, he really kind of goes into the explanation of why he decided to do it. But here is Brandon Staley at the beginning of the press conference talking about why he decided to go for it on 4th down.
To finish the game with the ball. Felt like we liked the play, liked the matchup, knew what coverage they were going to be in, and we wanted to finish the game on our terms on 3rd down. We felt like we had a good run up against that defense, had a pass solution. They defended it well. Then on 4th down, just really felt like, the slant to Mike was going to be the play call there, and just didn't go down for us. But I had a lot of confidence in our defense to go out there and get them stopped, and that was a big motive because we knew they would have to throw the ball to beat us, and we felt like we could cover them. And I love the way that our team finished that game because obviously the storybook would have been just to finish it right there, all right, and to walk to victory lane, but that's not how it went. We had to go play defense. We had to go defend, and our defense ended up winning us the game with that takeaway and that stop at the end of the game.
So, Dan, before I go to you, let's go to Brandon Staley again. This is what he said at the end of the game when Daniel Popper, a compa, he asked him, hey, well, some of the people outside are going to look at you and they're going to be like, well, what the hell was that? This is what Brandon had to say about that.
Chat at. Here we go. It's just crazy, dude. It's crazy the way this was going down. We were all having a heart attack because I'll finish that after.
I'll stand on that. And we believe in our process. We believe in our players on both sides. And we were coming out here on the road to win this game, not kick it and then go hope to win. I believed our defense would get a stop if we didn't make it because I knew that we could cover them. And so you got to live with it when it doesn't go down. We went forward on the first drive and it didn't go down. And we're willing to live with that. But we know what that means to our group and playing that way. There's no way I was taking our offense out of the field.
Mind you, real quick, is it my time so I can?
Yes, sir. Okay. Sir. This is your time.
I totally agree.
The cowboy hat wearing.
Exactly. Woo! Get
Charger heart attack having son of a gun. Dan and Daygo
walking around like the nature boy. But anyway, honestly, that I love that philosophy right there, especially when he says we're not going to just kick field goals and hope that we win. That 100% is the winning philosophy of sometimes you got to go get it. But my problem is this. Yeah, my problem is this. Call me old fashioned. I have no problem with the 4th downs and all that.
Get off my lawn.
But when we go when you go for it on your own 20 with seconds left, that's just to me not good situational football. Just because I would rather punt and have them travel the length of the field with no timeouts. Seriously, if this would have happened on the other 20, on their own 20, I have no problem with it, right? I have zero problem with it. It's all good to go. I totally understand it. But that's what I don't like. You give them the short field. The field position is essentially turned over to them. So I think there was still like a minute left or something, right? There was still plenty of time.
There was exactly a minute and 13 left after that.
Minute and 13 seconds to me is too much to give them for them to travel, 40 yards or whatever it is. And they were literally 5 yards away from field goal range to begin with or whatever. And it's like, to me, I just don't like that because that's not smart situational football. And again, if it would have been on the other 20, I have no problem. Go for it. Because they still have to travel about 60 or 80 yards or whatever it would be. I'm not a math magician, as you know. Your boy struggles in the mathematics. But that was my biggest beef. Then we go to the play call. I totally understand the slant and all that stuff. But, you see Mike just draped the way he is. You got to throw it at least higher, I guess. I just didn't like that.
He had that good catch where he kind of caught over. I think that would have been smarter. Maybe having him do a curl route or something like that.
Or a fade.
Height. Yeah.
Fade. If he's one-on-one and there's no safety over the top, fade his ass, dude. Throw it deep to him. Especially because then he stared him down. This is my first problem. He stares him down the whole way. I think, I can't remember who was in the slot, if it was Everett of who, but he just completely gives up on the route, doesn't even run it. Because he obviously assumes the ball's not going to him. Then we got guys just running ghost routes, and you have especially because he had time. He didn't have to rush it. Yeah. He could have just held it a little bit too. So that was just my thing. Because we talked about this right before that play, the third, and I forgot what. You're like, do you run it or throw? I'm like, no, dude, you got to run the football. Number one, to kill time. Time is their enemy right now. You're in control of the game. If you make them travel length of the field, it's not like they have dang Tom Brady over there with 113 have to travel, say 90 yards or whatever.
But Jacoby had already torched you for most of the game. So I mean, I wouldn't have trusted it either way. I would have punted it away. I mean, but you know me. I've been okay with Staley going for it on 4th down. I think out of what I've seen the last 2 years, excuse me, this was the most reckless one. If I can be honest, this was the most reckless one where I'm like, oh crap, I don't know. I mean, but obviously, if he would have gotten it, Boulder,
he's a genius.
He's a genius. Right now, they're calling him an idiot. Well, that's not the way you play this game. The way you play this game is either you are or you aren't. For right now, I mean, I still think Staley's really smart when he goes for it, what he chooses when and when not to. But this season, he hasn't really done it as much. And I think it's because they're still missing Keenan. I think you're going to see a little bit more towards the rest of the season. But, hey, they still won the game. And like I said, they put it on their defense, who had been struggling all game long. They gave up over 450 yards of offense and 4 touchdowns. Their offense the defense came to play at the end. They were able to get that stop. They made it 4th and 11. after some good plays by the corners, and you made Cade York kick a 54-yarder who had already missed and had that in his head.
Yeah.
To me, completely, I thought the Chargers are gonna call timeout and Cade York is gonna miss, and then he's gonna come back and make it because he already got one chance. Then I saw Brandon Staley kind of like get on his knees, not to pray or anything, but he kind of crouched down to watch. I was like, okay, he's not gonna call a timeout. That's smart. Don't call a timeout. Just let the kid kick it. And he kicks it, he misses it, and you're like, okay, there you go. Let him miss it. But I thought the defense came up strong with the Alohi Gilman interception, and then here holding them to 4th and 11, not letting them continue to drive. I thought that was very good, but man, it's crazy that right now you can't talk about the rest of the game because you kind of have to focus on the daily stuff.
On the final 2 minutes,
But this isn't that kind of program.
No,
We're
it's
not
not
gonna
that
do that
kind of program.
No. I understand exactly what Staley was trying to do. I understand people are going to call it reckless. But hey, if obviously Keenan, the thing that kind of makes it a little bit rough is that Keenan tweeted what he tweeted.
And that's exactly what I was going to mention.
But this is the thing too. That's Keenan from his couch. Keenan, the player, is going to be saying, "Let's go for it. Let's go for it. Let's go for it." Like, that's exactly what's going to happen, and I can tell you that right now. That's exactly what would have happened. So Keenan, the player, would have said, "Let's go for it." That's the kind of competitor he is. All the guys, I'm sure, in the locker room were like, "Yeah, let's go." Well, the offense is going to say, "Yeah, let's go for it." The defense is going to be like, "Oh crap, here we go, having to defend this." Yeah. But like I said, I understand why they did it. But let's talk a little bit more about. Are you done kind of talking about? Are you?
The only thing I wanted to say is just going back to what you said about Jacoby Brissett had already kind of burned you a few times. 100% totally agree. He played well. He's doing a good job because I seriously would never have thought the Browns would be 2-3 without Deshaun Watson. Yeah. But that's a matchup I'm willing to live with, right? If he has to travel 80 or 90 yards in the final, minute of the game
with no timeouts, no timeouts, and you can't run the football. And you can't run the football.
You can't. I can live with that matchup.
Yeah.
Oh, defensively, obviously.
No, so that's what I mean. Like, I if I was Staley, I would have punted. And I mean, like I said, I'm aggressive. I would be an aggressive
100%. 100%.
But at that moment, I kick it to Jacoby. And the thing is that JK had shanked one earlier. But whatever, you kick it to Jacoby. Let's say you get it to the 20-yard line. He can't run the football. And you basically take Nick Chubb out of the game. It's basically Kareem Hunt. Yeah. So you're able to work it, but whatever, it happened. Now let's talk about some of the other stuff that happened in the game, because we're not just going to focus on the Staley thing. We've already said both of our sides.
We're not stooges.
The running game seems to be alive. I mean,
I loved it
today. I mean, everybody can say, "Oh, well, Austin Ekeler had a 70-yard run." Yeah, if you take away that 70-yard run, they still rush for 60 yards and 2 touchdowns. So, and Ekeler still would have had 100 yards, Dan, because he rushed for 173 yards. So you take away the 70-yard run, he would have had 102 yards rushing. And I really thought that they ran the ball really well. This was the game, and I know, Dan, that you're a Sonny Michel fan. You like Sonny Michel, but I've been telling you, Joshua Kelley. You gotta run it with Joshua Kelley.
100%.
He's the guy with the heart. He's the guy that really is all about it.
100%.
And he's wanted the smoke, like the Street Profits say in WWE. We want the smoke. He's been wanting it. He's been fighting for it, and he's been calling for it all off season. He was in the doghouse with Anthony Lynn. He was
100%.
in the doghouse maybe with Brandon Staley last year. I believe that he was after some mistakes. He has revitalized himself, and he has re-energized himself, and he's back in the good graces, I think, of the Chargers. 10 carries, 49 yards, and 1 touchdown. 2 catches, 33 yards. To me, that's over 70. That's 82 yards of total offense. Man, this kid is cooking.
Yeah, you can live with that, right? The whole season we've been saying, I mean, obviously in a perfect world, you get all 3 backs involved and they're all being very productive, but the Chargers can live with just us or Joshua Kelley being active and productive like he was today. You can't have just Austin Ekeler taking all the carries, taking all the reps on offense. Because number one, he's going to be gassed, and that can wear down his body a lot for a long season that it is now. You have to be productive in the backfield. So that way, no matter what look you give them or who's in there, they're going to know, oh, shoot, this guy has the potential to break it to the house or start chewing us up. You know what I mean?
No, I completely understand. And that's the thing, though, is that you needed another runner. And last year, Joshua Kelley, Larry Roundtree, those guys didn't step up.
Nope.
This year, Joshua Kelley stepping up. The offensive line is really running the ball well. The offensive line is opening up holes. Dan, 5 sacks is all that Justin Herbert has this year, and 2 of them have come on slides.
Look at that.
So they're defending him well. Jameer Sawyer again today.
Yeah.
Davion Clowney was not. I mean, he was
Yeah.
disruptive, but he didn't sack Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
On the other side, Trey Pipkins, Jadeveon Clowney was effective in the run game, helping on run defense, but he did not sack Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
This offensive line deserves a lot more credit than what they're getting. And I believe that they're doing some good stuff. Matt Filer has struggled. I thought today was probably his better game. Well, having Corey Linsley in there helps tremendously just because of the kind of center that he is, the kind of leader that he is. But man, this offensive line is very good in my opinion. I and like I said, I think it's an NFL low 5 sacks so far for Justin Herbert, and especially with what's going on with his ribs. For him not to be taking any of those hits is good news for him. So the offensive line so far is playing up to its billing, and even though Rashawn Slater's not in there.
100%, because that's the most important thing, right? Like, I kid you not, when I saw Trey Pipkins go down, I said, oh, dear God, because I know who that means. And that's the thing. You have to have continuity up front to be good. Like, now they're getting 2 games under their belts with Sawyer in the game. So now hopefully they can be even more effective. We just have to make sure, the Chargers have to make sure just Trey Pipkins is good to go for next week. Because if he goes down, seriously, that's going to be a big problem. And at least I guess, you know, it would be the right tackle, not the left tackle, but you can't have any more linemen go out because that would be detrimental, not only to the program, but to the season itself.
Yeah, no, definitely. And that's the thing. The offensive line's doing well. Man, you honestly, you got to talk about Mike Williams as well. Mike Williams has stepped up. 10 catches, 134 yards. Dan, dating back to last year, the game against Cincinnati, the game in Las Vegas, and now the 3 away games that they played this year, Mike Williams has had 100 yards in each of those 5 games. So he is a road warrior. I think I had the stat right here. Well, I'll get it in a second.
Yeah, no worries. But I was
Mike Williams
going to expand on that real quick and say, I think it's time that whoever runs SoFi Stadium, they need when the Chargers play at home, they need to change the colors and everything else. Make Mike Williams think he's away. That way he performs as good at home as well.
So here are the stats. Mike Williams at home, 3 catches for 25 yards, 1 touchdown. On the road, 25 catches for 367 yards and 1 touchdown. Man, Mike
Williams, remember last year, he was also the clutchest receiver we had on the program.
He was very clutch last year for the Chargers, and that's what I'm saying. And Eric Williams, good compa, he tweeted it out.
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out to Eric Williams. He said Mike Williams is starting to is looking like a top 5 receiver. Man, Mike Williams is looking like a number 1. He really has done some good stuff. I think Mike is really Mike is really looking good. This is Keenan Allen's other tweet. So glad he missed that because man.
Frown trying to be like TMZ right now and stir the pot. Stir the pot for the program.
Here you go. Here's another one.
Doesn't look good.
Oh wow, Gilberto Manzano. Kim Kardashian is here at SoFi Stadium. Oh, that's
wow.
That's,
Let the world stop. Let the world stop. Thank you for that freaking announcement, Gilberto. That's what I need to know. Oh, there you go. There's a positive. There's a positive.
What's his name? That's journalism 101. You report on the news. He reported that Kim Kardashian's there.
Yeah, that's groundbreaking.
Maybe she'll be there for the Monday night game against the Broncos.
Keep her away from the program. I'm sure she's back.
So here's the stuff. Keenan Allen said, "Good win, boys." So obviously he said that. But Dan, Mike Williams to me, he's a number 1, and the Chargers are honestly, I don't want to say lucky. They've done a good job to the point where now you have 2 number 1 receivers basically.
Yep.
And it's like you're gonna have to pick your poison. Mike is emerging. That's the thing. Brandon Staley told us during the week, Mike is still growing, and he is.
Well, he's
Mike
like
is still
25,
growing.
right?
He's still learning. He's like 26. He's
Yeah.
still growing. He's still learning. He's still turning into who he's gonna be. And he might be a late bloomer. Keenan Allen was kind of a late bloomer too, because
Yeah.
of all the injuries and everything that happened to him. But Mike is starting to really turn this around, and he's doing some good work, to be honest. But man, and here's Daniel. Here's Dan's boy, Justin Herbert, his quarterback.
The son of Odin.
Continue it.
God of lightning. I love this guy. I just love him so much, dude.
Here's
That's
what
my quarterback.
Here's what he has to say about Mike Williams.
Gangster.
He's a competitor, and the game changes when he's out there. Third down, you got to be alert for him because something big's going to happen. And we think so highly of him in man coverage, finding the sweet spot in zones. He's a smart football player, and he's super athletic. Has done a great job stepping up, being a leader over the past couple of weeks too. So it's been awesome to see from him as well.
I just look at him. Sunshine, sunshine.
He brings a smile to your face every single time you see him on the field.
That's why every time someone hits him, I take it personal.
He's only thrown 2 interceptions in 5 games, and the guy just keeps on.
He finds a way to win. He's a dog.
Really,
when you have that dog mentality, Frau, you show up in the meeting room and you're already automatically playing on the little basketball hoop against people in the meeting.
I mean,
that's how much of a dog he is.
He honestly is. So yeah, I mean, literally, the defense, they do need some work. And the thing is that until somebody else emerges to help Khalil Mack, he's gonna be double teamed, triple.
Yep.
We've seen this for years. Yep. Joey, that's the same treatment he was getting when Melvin Ingram left. Double team, triple team. Yep. You need guys to step up and help Khalil Mack on the other side. Yep. But like I told everybody, and I remember the sky was falling a couple of weeks ago after Jacksonville. Now there's a little bit more excitement.
Yeah.
Now that they're 3-2, you're
only Jacksonville,
Kansas City.
Not only Jacksonville though, Houston also.
Well, yeah, Houston also. But you're one. Hey, and honestly, I'm gonna be completely honest. Today was Joe Lombardi's best game plan of the season. No.
I guess.
No, today was his best game plan of the season. You have to admit it. Today he had a game plan where there was no lapses in the offense. It was just mistakes made by players, but there was no lapses like you saw last week or like you've seen in the other parts of the week. Today was actually a game where it was first quarter to fourth quarter complete. But
the problem is we can't play Cleveland every week and then get them in the Super Bowl, guy. You know what I mean?
No. But Cleveland's one of the better defensive teams in the NFL.
I know they are. I
mean, if you can compete with them without Keenan Allen, that's a plus right there. But honestly, I'm just saying the defense needs to be better. And like I said, like I told everybody last week when I told everybody relax, you just have to, in a sense, win these games, but hold on for Joey Bosa to come back. And you and I went through the schedule. We've seen it. They could honestly make a run and win a lot more games than they could lose in these upcoming weeks. Hold on till the end of November when Joey should be coming back. Yeah. Then you have your pass rushing back. Now, JC Jackson told me earlier this week, I still need to learn. I'm still learning. I'm still getting used to my teammates. I'm still getting back from the ankle surgery. He's like, but I honestly feel like I'm going to get better and better and better, which he is. We saw it. He's not a product of New England. He's been a good corner. You see Stephon Gilmore. A lot of people were like, oh, he was a product of New England. He's still playing well with Indy. You saw what he did to the Broncos. JC Jackson will be fine. It's just about keep on going, keep on getting better. And he'll be fine. But now you're one game behind Kansas City. Kansas City will probably beat, and I obviously I don't like assuming, but Kansas City should take care of business on Monday, and you're only one game behind them, and it's now you and it's now the Chargers and the Chiefs at the top. Like I've said, it's going to be a 2-horse race, and it's just them two sitting at the top. Now, obviously, if the Raiders upset them, then damn, okay, you're tied for the division. But
I think I'd be a little bit worried as well as other Charger fans if I seriously don't think the Chargers should it should honestly be a blowout against the Broncos. The Broncos have no idea.
Well, we're gonna get into that this upcoming week, Dan. We have a really special guest that we've had in the past. I love this guy. He's gonna give us. I want to ask him what happened Thursday night because it was really interesting what happened to the Broncos. But
They better not
49ers
ride, is all I'm going to say.
49ers
I'm the only
defensive end
Cowboy
Nick-
on this program, and they're going to get tossed off their
Ooh.
horse, dude.
defensive end Nick Bosa, groin injury, out for the game.
Oh,
Wow, that's
God.
going to be interesting to monitor. And the Chargers play the 49ers in 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So obviously the Chargers win 30 to 28. They're now 3-2. And guys, relax. They still have Justin Herbert. They still have playmakers. Remember, there's 3 things that you need. You get Keenan Allen back, you get Joey Bosa back, and there's a possibility that you could get Rashawn Slater back. If you can have a winning record going into all 3 of those things, you're going to be sitting pretty. Just relax.
I think the only thing that makes that I would be worried about personally if I was Lombardi or Staley is this. We talked about this a little bit during the game. It's a little bit alarming to me that the ball essentially only goes to Mike Williams or Austin Ekeler, and I felt that was
the only reason you're saying that right now is because there's no Keenan. At that point, remember, if you have Keenan and if you have Mike, that's when the ball really goes to different guys, and that's when you're going to see which guys are who's who, to be honest.
But either way, dude, like you got to have that next man up thing. It's like if people aren't being productive when Keenan's out, it's going to be a problem next week if Keenan's not in. You know what I mean?
I know. I understand that. I understand that. But I mean, I mean, the
Broncos still have a good secondary.
Broncos have a good secondary, and they're going to get Justin Simmons back. But hey, like I said, we're going to save that for next week.
Yeah.
Chargers win 30 to 28. Thank you guys so much for checking us out on What's Up, Bolts. Guys, I am not even lying. This week, Gilbert and I have a huge guest on Combat Compas. You are not going to want to miss it. This individual had to pull over from driving because I said something and he started cracking up. But honestly, Combat Compas this week, you're not going to want to miss this interview. It was such a great interview. I'm so hyped for you guys to watch it. Be on the lookout for that. That'll come out probably Thursday. Obviously Wednesday, regular Compas on the beat. We'll be discussing everything in the NFL. Is there a quarterback controversy after the Rams Cowboys game? Obviously, we don't know who's won that game, but is there a quarterback controversy? Gilberto and I will discuss that. Don't forget to check out House of Horns after the Rams Cowboys game. And obviously, thank you guys so much for liking, subscribing. Keep on doing it. Be a friend, tell a friend. You know what? Be a compa, tell a compa. We appreciate you guys so much. Let us know what we're doing right. Let us know what you guys want us to, more stuff for us to do, and give us, throw in some comments. Let us know that you love Dan and Daygo. Dan and Daygo wants to feel the love. So if you love the cowboy hat wearing, sunglass donning, son of a gun, Dan and Daygo, let us know in the comment section. But again, guys, we appreciate you guys so much. Again, be on the lookout for Combat Compas this week. It is going to be some electric stuff. Thank you guys so much. I'm Fernando Ramirez. That is Dan and Daygo. Thank you guys so much, and have a great rest of your weekend.